Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Joseph Parker, he is stepping up the rhetoric and firing back a few barbs of his own at his next opponent, Hughie Fury, who he'll face in Manchester in about 6 weeks or so. Let's break it down. So, World Boxing News has spoken to Joseph Parker about his team meeting with boxing promoter Eddie Hearn about possible future fights with Dillian Whyte and Tony Bellew after Fury, should Parker win. That meeting occurred a couple of weeks ago in the UK. That was when Parker was doing a whirlwind promotional tour and before he entered his training camp in Las Vegas. A day or two after that, a very, very annoyed Hughie Fury, and he let it be known at a press conference, he chided Joseph Parker, telling him he shouldn't look past him and that Eddie Hearn was a cockroach and he and Tyson would rule the division for years to come. The Tyson part, maybe that's not going to happen, but who knows? So a week ago, it emerged in a very, very public way that Team Fury was looking to work with David Haye in some capacity, and that possibly Haye could be lined up as a possible first defence for Hughie should he beat Parker on September 23rd. Got to say, who's looking through who, right? Parker has now been quoted as saying, I think Hughie should focus on fighting me instead of associating and thinking about David Haye. He then added, I didn't meet with Eddie Hearn, I promoted it. I never met Eddie Hearn in my life, and I'm focusing on Hughie Fury. Just for good measure, he then threw in, he wants to fight me in Manchester because he thinks he'll have an advantage at home. He was obviously scared of the home advantage I had in New Zealand. Got to say, I'm loving the banter, loving it. It's nice to see that Parker is going in a little bit on Fury. It certainly adds a little bit more spice to the fight, and I am hoping to see more of it. And in terms of building the profile for the fight, not just the fighters, but the fight, I think we need to see a little bit more of this sort of stuff. It just adds that extra interest and intrigue. And no doubt you know that these comments, they'll be filtering back to Hughie Fury about him being scared and not to think about David Haye. So we might see a response from Hughie very quickly. What are your thoughts? Do you like a level of trash talk and niggle for this fight? I mean, like me, do you think it adds to the whole package? Or are you more in the camp where you think Parker and Hughie should basically stay in their respective lanes, which is kind of what they normally do? Parker not noted as a big trash talker. I think I've maybe heard him say more in the build up to this fight than in quite a few others, maybe collectively more than those others. And something I've also noted is I'm also seeing a lot more mainstream media coverage and social media in this pre-fight build-up than some of other Parker's recent fights, Ruiz Jr. being the exception. I think that his camp, they must have known and planned for basically Hughie Fury bottling it the first time round. Because at the time, I thought there's just no hype. There's nothing in New Zealand. It was very, very circumspect. The level of coverage, the hype, and general fan interest, it didn't seem to be there and it wasn't being pushed. And I'm really glad to see it's a lot higher this time. That's a good thing. And I'm very interested to see how far the smack talk goes in the coming weeks in the lead up to the fight. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. That's it from me. I'm out.